I was thinking today we would work our way to a twisted crow. There's another name for it. Side crow, that's the word. We'll work our way to side crow. Challenging. You don't have to do it, but you know, I haven't done it for a while. It's basically like crow pose, but you're looking in one direction and your hands are at 90 degrees to where you're looking, and you're on the side of the leg, and the back hip typically floats, so you can try and get into that hand balance, and then you can maybe split the legs. So we're going to work our way to that. It's a twisted pose, so we'll do plenty of twists today. Get ready for it. Start on, come onto your back. Let's start on our backs. And just place the right hand on your belly, left hand on the chest somewhere, maybe near the heart. Keep the elbows down so the arms are nicely relaxed. And then we're going to bring our attention to the breath as you inhale, feeling the belly rise, and then the chest expand. As you exhale through the nose, the chest contracts and the belly sinks. Inhale into the belly, and then into the chest. Exhale, chest, belly. So just repeat, just go at your pace. And you want to make it, although I say belly to chest, you want a nice smooth transition with the breath. Each inhale trying to pull in a little bit more air, trying to fill the lungs a little bit more. Exhale just as long as you inhale. Two or three more rounds. And then extend the legs and extend the arms over the head. Take a full body stretch, trying to get as much length as you can. And then emphasize the stretch on one side. It's not a side stretch, we're just trying to get a little bit longer on one side and then a little bit longer on the other side. And then we're just going to keep doing that. So basically, as one hip is pulled away from you, the other hip comes up. So just keep doing that a few times, moving the hips up and down alternately. And this is hopefully creating a little bit of space in the hips. And then we walk the feet in. Feet wider than hips. Arms either side of you into windshield wipers, taking the knees over from side to side. So as I say, we're going to work our way to side crow, so we're going to be doing plenty of twists, and this is a good way to start. It's a little bit of a twist. We're warming up the back, and we're strengthening the back, the core. Feel those obliques working. Just going from side to side. You don't have to go too fast. You want to try and move with the breath. Typically I inhale as the knees come up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. And then we take the legs up, extend the legs up towards the ceiling, so we've got that nice 90 degrees between the legs and the torso. Arms out, about 45 degrees from the body. We take the legs down part way, we come back up, and then over to the other side. You don't have to go too far, but just far enough so that you feel that you are having to work a little bit, so you're getting benefit from this. And again, this is going to strengthen the core. And we're adding a twist again. You're breathing, you're not holding the breath. So every few weeks, I think it's like every 4 or 5 weeks, the local group, the Cherry Hill group we're in, they do a highway pickup, and my wife was up early, got there at 7, and they clean all the ramps between Fremont Avenue and 85. And there's usually half a dozen to a dozen people, and each time they fill up several bags, like half a dozen bags of litter. People have either thrown out of the car or it's blown off trucks or something like that. They found $100 the other week. I found an old iPhone when I was doing it last year. Okay. Bring one foot down, bring the other leg up to the ceiling, and we're just going to point and flex the foot. We sort of neglect the feet a little bit, and the feet do a lot of work for us, support us every day. Rotate the foot in one direction, making circles. Circles in the other direction. And then point and flex again. And then switch legs, holding onto the back of the other leg, point and flexing the foot. And then circle. Other direction. Point and flex. And then bring that foot down. Bring the outer of the left ankle onto the right leg. Keep the right foot on the ground. And we're just going to push that left leg away. So I'm pushing the inside of the thigh. I'm keeping that left foot nice and flexed. Trying to get more opening on the left inside of the left thigh. Breathe. And then we switch, stretching out the inside of the other hip. Release, hold on to the back of the legs, lift the head up and just rock yourself up into boat. And we'll hold boat for a little bit, breathing. So we're trying to keep the back nice and neutral. You can hold on to the legs, especially if you have any back concerns. Next stage, arms separated either side of the legs, and then if you straighten the legs, you're going to have to work a little bit harder. The higher the legs, you work a little bit harder. We're really trying to keep the back neutral, so you're trying not to round the back like this. You're trying to get that back nice and neutral. So we're protecting the back, we're not putting pressure on the back. We walk the feet in, and we come onto our hands and knees, and we do cat-cow a few times. Inhale, belly down, head up. Exhale as you round the back, tuck the chin. Inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. So the next time you're in cow, belly is down, head is up. You're going to glue the hands onto the mat, and you're going to try and pull the hands towards the knees and pull the knees towards the hands. And you're going to feel that core working, and breathe. Keep pulling. And then we relax. And then we're going to bring up the right arm. And you're trying to get the hand a little bit higher than shoulders. And you're going to bring the whole body a little bit more forward. And again, that's core work. And then if you want, you can add the opposite leg, still trying to reach a little bit more forward. Makes you work a little bit harder. And then we switch, bringing the other arm up, just the arm to begin with. Raise the hand, raise the arm, trying to get the hand higher than shoulders. Shifting your weight forward. Maybe bring up the opposite leg, still shifting forward. And then we come into child's pose and totally relax. Make sure the arms are extended forward in child's pose, and then walk over the hands over to one side, getting a little bit of stretch in the lower back here. And then we walk over to the other side. We recenter, back onto your hands and knees, thread the needle, take that right arm behind the left arm, resting on the right arm, the right side of the face. You're pushing the left hand into the ground, elbow up towards the ceiling. The more you reach with that bottom arm, the more you're going to feel that stretch in the back. Should feel good. Breathe. Thread the needle on the other side. We come onto our hands and knees, and then we take the left arm behind the right, resting on the arm and the side of the face. Take a few breaths here. Come out of that pose. Sphinx. Elbows under the shoulders, make fists with the hands, tuck the toes, forearm plank. You're looking directly towards the ground, so you're not lifting the head up. You're breathing. If this is tough, you can bring the knees down. If you want more challenge, you bring one leg up for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg down. Really keep pushing the elbows into the ground. Try not to sink between the shoulders. Other leg comes up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We come all the way down. And we relax. Back into Sphinx, elbows under the shoulders, no wider than shoulders. Walk the knees under the hips, tuck the toes into Dolphin. So we're trying to keep the head off the ground. Again, push a little bit more into the elbows relative to the rest of the arms. You're trying to push the mat away, trying to get more and more of a straight line, elbows through hips, through shoulders to the hips. Knees can be bent if you need to keep the back neutral. If you can keep them back neutral, maybe you can start straightening the legs a little bit. Nice shoulder opener on this one. We bring the knees down onto your hands and knees. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Feet get closer to each other. We start walking the dog, bending one knee as you straighten the opposite leg. Hold one leg straight, one knee bent. Switch legs, other leg straight. Look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up. Exhale as you fold forward, relaxing the head. Bend the knees. Inhale as we come up into chair and then into mountain. We'll be doing lots of chair poses today as well. But before that, just come into a standing pose. Take the feet a little bit apart and we're just going to swing the arms from side to side. Let the head follow. The arms are nice and loose. And you're just going to tap the shoulder as the hand comes round. And you're going to tap the lower back with the other arm. So we're just swinging, just getting loose. Just getting a little bit more mobility in the spine. Nice way to warm up as well. It's pretty cold today. Have a frost. And then just slow down. It's just like a spring losing its tension. Bring the feet a little closer. Inhale as you bring the arms up, and at the same time come onto your toes. Stay on the toes, and then bring the arms parallel to the ground. Try and stay on your toes. Flip the hands so the hands are pointed towards the ceiling. And then flip through 180 as best you can with the arms. So you're twisting forward and then you open up again and then you bring the heels down. You bring the hands onto the knees. Feet pretty close and we just circle one direction. This is supposed to be good for the knees. And we circle in the other direction. And then we just bend the knees and straighten the legs, keeping the hands on the knees. And then we release. And we're going to come do a little bit of flow now. So I'm just going to move my mat. I'm going to face you guys this time. We inhale as we bring the arms up. You're looking up, you're reaching up towards the ceiling. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We walk into plank. Knees come down, elbows in as the chin chest comes forward and down. Inhaling into cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up to the ceiling. Extended down dog, then stack the hips. You're bringing the right hip over the left hip. You're bending that top knee. You're breathing. Nice hip opener. We switch legs. Other leg comes up. Extended down dog. We stack the hips. Bending the top knee. Back into down dog. Plank. Knees down, chin chest down and forward. Inhaling into cobra. Exhale back into down dog. We look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale as we come all the way up. Exhale into mountain. Okay, chair this time. Bending the knees. Inhale as the arms come up. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands into plank. Knees down, chin chest forward and down. Inhaling into cobra. You could do chaturanga up dog if you prefer. Downward facing dog. Okay, let's do a few planks. So bring the heels over the toes and wiggle the toes back. Try and keep the heels over the toes as you bring the shoulders over the wrists. Push the heel of the hand into the ground. Try not to sink between the shoulders. Back is totally neutral, not too low, not too high. Try not to sink between the shoulder blades. This is a nice strengthening pose. It's going to strengthen the core. If you need to bring the knees down, you can. Side plank, right hand to center, stack the feet, left arm comes up. If this is a challenge to keep the hips nicely in line with the rest of the body, you can bring the top foot down in front of you or the bottom knee down. Breathe. The more you push into the ground, the more you reach with that top arm, the lighter it should feel. We come back into plank. Side plank other side. Nicely lined up. Take whatever modification you need. Push into the ground, reach up towards the ceiling. Breathe, don't hold the breath. We come back into plank. We bring the knees down and we rest in child's pose. Not too long, we don't want to lose that heat we're generating. Back onto your hands and knees. Down dog, look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up, exhale folding forward, knees bent. We're back in chair and then we come all the way up. Lots of chairs today. Inhale into chair. Exhale folding forward. Inhale halfway up, exhale we plant the hands. Into plank, you can jump or walk back into plank. Chaturanga if you want, you bring the whole body forward, keeping the elbows in, elbows to 90. Inhaling into upward facing dog, looking up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's get into warrior one. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through, readjusting that back foot. I'm doing the mirror image. So you've got your right foot forward, I've got my left foot forward. We add a little bit of a backward bend here. So you can feel the stretching, opening of that back hip. Warrior two. Go a little deeper in warrior two. I'm trying to walk that front foot forward. I'm keeping the knee directly over the ankle. Reverse warrior. And then we flow to the other side. Into plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale down dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. We're in warrior one. On the other side, we take a breath or two. And then we come into warrior two. Try and keep that nice alignment. Try not to stick the butt out. Try not to bring the hips too far forward. Trying to get that nice neutral alignment. We go a little deeper perhaps. Soften the shoulders. Reverse warrior. And then we're into plank. Chaturanga on knees, chin, chest to ground. Cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Remember, engage the core when you transition into up dog and then back into down dog. We look forward, we walk forward between the hands. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, folding forward, knees bent. We're back in chair. And then we come all the way up. So we're going to do warrior one, warrior two, Trikonasana this time. Inhale, chair. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. You can jump or walk back. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. Warrior one. We exhale into Warrior Two. We do a reverse warrior, and then we come back into Warrior Two. We straighten the front leg into Trikonasana, reach towards my direction as far as you can, and then you bring that hand down wherever it lands, that's the spot. And then you line up the arms, you engage the quads, you lift up the insteps. Keep that top arm nicely lined up with the back. Don't yank the arm back. Keeping those shoulders nice and safe. You're breathing. We come back to Warrior Two. Now let's try the revolved version. So I'm going to hop that back foot in a little closer. And then I'm going to, as I straighten the front leg, I'm going to sweep that back hand onto the outside of the foot. Some people like it on the inside, some people like a block. As we come into revolved Trikonasana, a little bit of a challenge, I suppose. Then you breathe. We come out as best we can. We get ourselves back into Warrior Two. Reverse warrior. And then we flow to the other side. Coming into plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Take a breath or two. Inhale, bringing the left leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. We're in Warrior One on the other direction. Warrior Two. Reverse warrior. Back into Warrior Two, and then Trikonasana, straightening both legs, reaching forward, keeping the arm parallel to the ground as much as you can, and then bring that hand down, other arm comes up. Work those legs, looking up, breathe. Back into Warrior Two, and I'm going to get that back foot a little bit closer to the front foot as I transition into revolved Trikonasana, straightening both legs, sweeping that back hand to the inside or the outside of the foot, using a block, baby, taking the twist. We unwind, we get ourselves back into Warrior Two, reverse warrior, into plank, chaturanga on knees, chin, chest to ground, cobra or up dog, exhaling into downward facing dog. Bring the knees down, child's pose. Come back onto your hands and knees. Downward facing dog. Look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up. Exhale folding forward, knees bent. We're in chair. And then we come all the way up. So we're going to do a chair twist. So we come into chair. You're going to twist to the right side, your right. So you're bringing your arm outside the leg, palms together, elbow up towards the ceiling. Focus on the feet. And we're going to take the left leg, the left foot back. Come and the back knee down. Coming into a low lunge twist. Tuck the toes of the back foot. Bring the back knee off the ground. Into a crescent twist, high lunge twist. Can you separate the arms? Spread the arms, breathe. We bring the hands either side of that front foot. We come into plank, chaturanga or knees, chin, chest to ground, Cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Knees bent. We're in chair, stay in chair. Twist in the other direction. Take your time. Get into a good twist. Work on the feet, look at the feet. Take the right leg back. Back knee down. Maybe deepen the twist. And then if you want, you can bring the knee up and hold for a breath or two. And then maybe separate the arms. Palms together. Lower the knee. Hands either side of that front foot. Come into plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Knees bent. We're in chair. And then we come all the way up. Phew. Okay, a little change of pace. Well, I'm standing next to a tree, so I guess we should do tree pose. So you're on the left, actually, yeah, start on your left foot. I'll do the mirror image. Start on your left foot, bring the right foot inside the leg, below or above the knee. You know not to push into the knee joint. We're opening the hips, we're engaging the muscles of that standing leg. Broaden across the collarbone, and whenever you're ready, the arms come up. You can't see my hands, but my arms are parallel, my hands are apart. But if you like, you can bring the hands together. It's up to you. I'm reaching up, but pulling the shoulder blades down. I'm working the muscles of that standing leg, trying to strengthen that leg. So we're getting a lot going on here, getting a stronger leg, we're opening the hips. You're having to concentrate just to keep the balance. That foot is working, it's probably moving all the time to keep your balance. Maybe you're swaying a little bit, that's fine, trees sway. We bring the hands down. Try and just bring the hands down, keeping the legs in their tree position. And then we lower the top leg and we shake the legs out. On the other side, you're balancing on the right foot, left foot inside the leg, below or above the knee. It's inside the leg, so we're getting a more of a hip opener. We bring the palms together, relax the shoulders, but open across the collarbone. Engage the quads, especially the inner quads. And whenever you're ready, arms come up, reaching up, shoulders down. And breathe. Tree is a good pose. Helps us keep our balance. 2 or 3 more breaths. You can feel that foot working to help you keep the balance. Weight is moving from various spots on my foot here. And then we bring the hands down, we bring the legs down, and we shake everything out. Half eagle. Let's just do the arms. Extend the arms to the side. And we're going to bring the right arm under the left arm. And we're getting the hands parallel, and then we're into chair. If you want to do full eagle, you can. I'm just doing part eagle. Touch the nose with the thumb, and then bring the arms up, and breathe. Feeling a nice opening across the upper back. The higher you bring the arms, the more you're going to feel the stretch. If you want to keep touching the nose, that's fine. If you want to bring the arms down, you can. Just find what's good for you and breathe. And we come up out of chair. Move the shoulders, shake the arms, extend the arms to the side, bring the left arm under the right arm, just to the other side. Maybe touch the nose, maybe chair, arms up. You can take the full eagle if you want, and breathe. And release, shake everything out. Extend the left arm forward, parallel to the ground, pull that arm in towards you, and then add a little bit of a twist. Extend the other arm forward, pull that in, a little bit of a twist. Bring the arms up to the ceiling, interlacing the fingers, but pointing the index finger up. Take a side stretch, leaning over to one side, looking up. You want to keep both shoulders in one plane. Don't have one shoulder more forward than the other shoulder. Going a little deeper into the side stretch with the breath. Inhale, come up, reach up. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale, recenter, bring the arms down, interlace the hands behind you, pull the shoulders down and in, bend the knees, rest the belly on the legs, totally relax the head, and you're starting to bring the arms a little higher, maybe, if the shoulders are happy with that. Relax, soften a bit, bring the arms up a little higher, relax. Arms up a little higher, relax, soften, and then maybe you can bring the arms higher. Every so often, just soften, work with the body, and then bring the arms down, rest the belly on the legs as we slowly come up. Inhaling as the arms come up. Exhale into mountain. So let's stretch out the hands a little bit. So sit on the heels. Take the knees apart. And we're just going to bring the hands between the legs. Fingers pointing towards the feet. And you know that I quite often do this before crow. And what I find is the closer my sit bones are to my heels, the more I feel the stretch in the wrists. So if that's the same for you, if it's too much, you bring the hips up. If you want to go deeper, you bring the hips down. If you're not feeling much of a stretch in the wrists, because, we're all different here, so you might not have such tightness in your wrists as I do. You could try just bringing the hands in a little closer, see if that makes a difference. And then we keep the fingers on the mats, but we bring the palm of the hand up, stretching out the fingers. Always like this, it sort of feels like it's bringing the fingers alive. I can start to feel that energy flowing through the arms and the hands and the wrists. So each finger, except for the thumb, is being stretched, so the thumb doesn't feel left out. Push one thumb into the palm of the opposite hand and just stretch that thumb out. And then stretch out the other thumb. and then just shake the hands. So we're going to work our way into crow and then side crow. So you guys know crow. Well, let's do that first. If you want to do, if you're not into crow, you can just hang out in the squats. Now, if you're not able to do crow and you want to have a go, some people find it easier when you're on a block. So what you could do, let me just face you guys first. You could just stand on the block. So I've got my two little toes round the edge of the block and my heels are touching. And then you bring your hands in front of you with the knees outside the upper arms. So this is the side view. So little toes around the edge of the block, heels touching. And the idea is it brings the hips higher, so it makes it easier to get into the crow pose. You're then pushing the upper arms into the legs. And you come onto the big toe and you start coming forward. Now, I'm already in line for the crow pose, and all I have to do at this point is to bring the big toes together, and they'll actually come off the block as you bring the big toes together. Keep looking forward, keep the throat open, and as you widen the feet, you'll land back on the block. So it gets you into the right height. Now if you do it without the block, you've got to bring more weight forward, and then you have to lift one foot up and then the other foot up. Never kick up, don't forget you don't kick up, and then you bring the big toes together and you come down. If you're not into the hand balances, crow is not the pose for you. You know, this is a little bit of free time. You could be doing recline pigeon, regular pigeon, squats, do whatever you like. The side crow, bit more challenging. So the reason we've been doing lots of chair poses, is I usually start off in chair, and then I come into a chair twist. So I'm going to do it to the left. You can do it to the left or the right. If you want to watch the first one, you can. So I'm bringing my arm outside the leg. So this is the twist. And then I bring my hands down to the ground. And then I'm going to lean over into the side crow. So my back hip is floating, and then I try and separate the legs. And then bring them back together. We'll do that on the other side, and then we'll repeat a few times. I haven't been doing much of this. I actually did it last week, but that's the first time I've done it for quite some time. So it's a challenge for me. We start off in chair. We do the twist. So you want good contact between the thigh, just above the knee, and that one arm. And then I'm getting my hands parallel, so they're at 90 degrees with the feet. And my back hip is floating, so I'm just supported in one spot on that one arm. And then I lean over, and you try and get your balance, and then you try and separate the legs, and you come out. I can't hold it that long. It's quite a twist and a balance, and it's a challenging pose. Side crow. Okay, let's try again. See if this time is a little bit better. We're into chair. We push, if you're twisting to the left, you're pushing the right arm into that left leg. So the hands are at 90 degrees to the feet. And then you lean over to the side, and let the feet float up. A lot of pressure on the leg. And then you try and separate the legs. You're breathing and you come out. Okay, we're nearly done. Other side again. Into chair. These are fun to try, I think. I like hand balances. So I'm trying to get really good contact with my left arm and the right leg. I bring the hands down and I'm leaning over. I have to wiggle the feet slightly. I come up, I balance, or at least I'm trying. Let's try that setup again. Takes a little bit of going. As I say, I haven't done this for a while. And then once you've got your balance, you try and separate the legs and you come out. I can't hold it too long. A lot of pressure on the outside of my leg on this one. Oh, I need to practice that a bit more. Okay, enough of that. Come onto your back. So we're just going to take a restorative pose. So have a block handy. Hopefully you have a block. Come onto your back. Relax. I think we deserve that for a bit. Walk the feet in. You've got a block handy, hopefully. Hopefully you all have blocks. We lift the hips up and I'm going to slide the block. It's half height and I'm just going to slide it underneath the sacrum. And bring my arms either side. So we're in a restorative bridge. And we can just relax. If you don't have a block, you can just hang out in Shavasana. It's up to you. Do whatever feels good. In bridge, even in this restorative bridge, you're keeping the gaze towards the ceiling. Try not to turn the head from side to side. This is a relaxing pose. You're totally relaxing. You're not working the legs. You're keeping the legs parallel, but you're not working them. So it's totally restorative pose. You can hold this for a while. If you want, you can take the block, so come onto your toes, lift the hips up, and take the block over to its full height. And rest on the block. If your block is a bit soft, you might want to keep hold of the block with the hands. If it's a firm block, it's nice and firm, which mine is, you can release the hands and then maybe bring the legs up into a bit of an inversion. So we're getting the blood starting to flow a little bit more easily from the feet all the way to the heart. And this should also be relaxing. We're still keeping the gaze towards the ceiling. We're not turning the head from side to side. We're not gazing to the side. We bend the knees. We bring the toes down. We lift the hips up. And we remove the block. Pull the knees in nice and close. And we just rock. Bring the hands onto the knees and make big circles, giving the back a little bit of a massage. So you're just circling the knees with the hands on the knees. We circle in the other direction. And then we bring the feet down. We bring the outer of the left foot onto the right leg and we pull the legs in, coming into Recline Pigeon. The foot that's close to you is nice and active. As you pull the legs in closer, you're trying to keep the tailbone as low as possible. Bit of rocking from side to side. Now, if you're super flexible, instead of holding onto the back of the leg, you could actually hug that leg that's close to you. So I've got my left foot inside my right elbow, and I've got my thigh just above the knee inside my left elbow. I can get into a deeper stretch and I can just rock. Most of you are probably just holding onto the back of that right leg. This is a pretty deep stretch. Again, I like to rock, so I can just massage the lower back, get out, try and get those tight spots released. We switch legs, bringing the outer of the right foot onto the left leg, holding onto the back of the left leg, flexing that right foot, tailbone down, a little bit of rocking maybe. And if you want to have a go at hugging the leg, you can. You can get a little bit more leverage there, get a little bit more of a hip stretch, and we still rock. The next stage after this would be bringing the foot behind the head, but we're not going to go there. You have to be careful with that one, not to, it is feasible, but you have to be careful you don't overstretch the knee, that you don't mess the knee up. You don't want to torque the knee. Release. Pull both knees in. Take hold of the feet. Happy baby. Trying to get the tailbone down. A lot of arm strength. And then take hold of the big toes. See if you can straighten the legs a little bit more into more of a V shape, pulling the shoulders down away from the ears. This is going to stretch out the back of the legs, maybe the inside of the legs. This is a good one. Breathe. We keep hold of the big toes, we bend the knees, and we rock up. And you're trying to balance on the sit bones without touching the floor with the feet. We extend the legs, and then we quickly let go of the toes, hold on to the back of the legs, into boat. You're breathing, we lower just an inch or two, few inches off the ground with the legs. You're supporting the head with the hands, you're pushing the lower back into the ground. Abs of steel for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We slowly lower all the way to the ground. We take a full body stretch, reaching with the arms and the legs. Trying to pull the hips away from the feet, pulling the back away from the hips, and getting length in the neck. Little bit of a side stretch into a banana shape, stretching out one side of the body. And then we stretch out the other side. And then we recenter. If you want to do a final twist, you can. But I'm just going to go straight into Shavasana, separating the legs, relaxing the feet, bringing the arms about 30 degrees from the body, palms up, eyes closed. Maybe moisten the lips and just relax. Just feel yourself sinking into the ground, melding into the ground, becoming one with the earth. If you find any discomfort at all in the back, you can walk the feet in. That takes any pressure off the back. Sometimes it's nice to do that anyway. Keep your attention on the breath so you're not being distracted. Keep length in the back of the neck. If you need to, you place a little pillow underneath the head. I find that if I'm focusing on the breath, I get less distracted. I'm not thinking too much about other things. Stretch out the hands as much as you can. And then clench. Stretch them out again. And clench. One more time. Stretch the hands. And then clench. And relax the hands. If you need to bend, extend the legs on the ground. Stretch out the toes and relax the toes and the feet. Stretch the toes out and relax. Stretch the toes and relax. And then just wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. And then walk the feet in, roll over to your side and take 3 or 4 breaths. Gently push yourself up into a seated position. Inhale as you bring the arms up. Exhale as you bring them down. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do a couple more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. This time keep the palms together. Namaste.